Alrighty, welcome back everybody, welcome back to it, and we are in episode 2 of the Wandering Village. So last episode I went ahead and just sort of described my methodology heading into this game and what I was gonna do. And I guess in that instance we didn't get much done, but we did research we are currently researching the scavenger hunt, and now that glow means we can do the kitchen. And oh, I'm so thankful. So I really wish they could tell you how many squares you had for the kitchen. I just got it right. Didn't have to adjust any of the rows or anything. We'll build the kitchen right here, and then we're going to prioritize that. See how we have wood plank and stone slab? So that's going to go ahead and be our main issue here. So normally I don't like doing this, but we need to. We need to get the stone slab and the carpenter built right away, because we need to start turning these beets into foods, or into like a meal. Now I'm not entirely certain whether the meals have a longer lasting effect than eating the thing raw. I would imagine so, but I just know we shouldn't be making them into meals. I just know it's a good thing. I don't know the exact good thing, but I know it's a good thing. Okay. We also want to get these airwells built. From my experience, you kind of want to build a lot of airwells. I've never met a moment where I had too many airwells. Yeah, airwells are just important. It's the main source of getting water, and you use water for farms, and and farms are what gets you the food. So you just need them. What can be a pain though is when you're in the desert, because they become useless and just sitting buildings. But I mean, look, you go to the desert for strategic uses. So now we're getting nomads. This early on, we're in day 5, which, you believe it or not, I actually felt like it was only day 2, but we're in day 5. We're getting nomads, which is great. I actually don't know I'm actually under when it comes to housing. Again, the more housing you have, the more efficient they are. I'm not the more housing, but if you have everybody in a house, it's all good. It just makes them more efficient. Cool thing about this is that you don't actually need to build a road. Yes, we're gonna accept them, pick them up. We got 3 villagers. That's good. Sometimes you get 1 or sometimes you get 2. And now what we're gonna do, gosh, I feel like this is gonna be an available spot for us to build back here, right? Because we want to build toward the bum, but we also need to build our houses. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. This looks ugly, I know, not the most flattering build area, but it's just gonna have to serve a purpose. Eventually what's gonna happen is we're gonna build like a district where it's just the homes, and they will be actually upgradable homes. There'll be this house here. Where is a village? They will be the huts, because huts can hold more villagers, and they better protect villagers from poison, and perhaps they're more efficient. It says they're efficient. I don't know by the degree in which efficiency is for tent versus the hut, but eventually we'll build a little suburb area and then destroy a lot of these huts. But right now we just need huts. And so we have 19 people, which is great. Let's go ahead and increase the amount of people who work at the farm, I feel. So we have 2 more people there. We have 2 more people here. We stopped working the berry field. Or actually, you know what? Let's actually reduce that. Let's keep that there. And then let's reopen the berry field and have 3 people work there. The reason for it is because eventually we're going to have to start balancing how much water we have to the plant production. And we're just building plants. We're just diversifying how much food we have. Efficiency is 80? Whoa, I thought this said 54 last time. Perhaps more berries spawned. Oh, that's very lucky for us, because that means we can have a lot of farmers here to just keep working on the berry farm. I thought this said 54 last time. Anyways, so cold snap affects all a variety of plant life here that we're farming. So I mean, it is going to be what it is. Eventually, like when you have cold snaps or scorching hot areas, you want to tell Onbu to run through them to help you get through the area much more quickly. Or perhaps you do want to stay there for whatever reason, because let's say you have a plant that needs the heat or needs the cold, or you want to grow cactus, and being in that scorching hot area is good. But some of these areas, I believe it's the scorching stuff that can actually affect the health of Onbu. It looks like the cold snap only affects your plant growth. As it says here, short temperature drop might affect the growth of your plants. So that seems to be the only issue for Onbu right now. Okay, oh shoot, I'm talking again. See, this is why I have it on slow. I know that could be annoying for you guys, because you're like, oh my god, like, let's pick up the pace a little bit. But as you can see, as I commentate, I actually lose track of like things that I should be doing, which is please collect this, please, you know, cut this stuff down. Hopefully a mod will come out, or maybe, because I don't know if this is the devs' intention, they might not want to do this, but I feel like if your carpenters have nothing to do, in which they do have something to do actually, but if they have nothing to do, they should go out and like carry like rocks and stuff. Now they are busy, they are doing things right now, so it's not that big of a deal. But the problem is some of these villagers, as mentioned in last episode, they'll actually like mine something and then they'll like walk away from it. They won't haul it back to a place. Look at this. Where are you going? Where are you going? Moving to farm. And I'm assuming to eat beets. So literally did one job, and are you gonna eat as well? I don't know, maybe they do one job and just eat. In which case, it's kind of lame. Like, why? Why? Ugh, so annoying. And wait, you're moving to farm, why? Why can't you just move to pantry? Okay, I was hyping the pantry up a little bit, thinking that they would eat from the pantry. They're not doing that? Okay, so perhaps beets are more desirable than berries? I guess that has to be the reason. I guess that's the reason. So they would rather eat beets over strawberries. Oh boy. Unfortunately, you can't like prioritize how many beets are in a farm. Like, ideally, I would like to cut this down to 10 so that it tells people to be like, oh, we have to prioritize moving beets from the farm to the pantry. But as it stands, I mean, 20 is a lot. So they're just gonna be holding beets here, which I find kind of ridiculous. Super bummer. So it says right here, Onbu is unsure of which path to take. If we had the hornblower, we could... Oh, this is terrible. Okay. So this might be an early game over. We shall see. Okay, so if we had a hornblower, we could tell Onbu where to go. Both paths are perilous because of these small spore clouds. Thankfully, we can possibly survive these. So just a quick reminder, these spore clouds will let toxic plants grow on Onbu's back. And then we will have to get rid of them quickly because they will spread to any kind of plant life. Which can lead to an instant game over. So, and we don't have like decontaminators who would fight this much more easily and much more efficiently. We would have to use our villagers to do so. And so we would have to... Oh my, why is this not built yet? Okay, I guess we're out of wood or something. We're gonna have to invest in a village doctor, which means we should start building this. It's a bummer, guys. It's a bummer. I'm not sure if we're gonna make it. Now, just to give more perspective on this, as I've clicked that, you can see this little square is there. That just means the spore cloud is heading in that area. Green means it's a safe area, so there's no spore cloud there, as we can see here as well. The problem is that you see that white circle that's there? That's its radius. It's pretty big. And then your radius is similar. It's just like this thing. Don't let that like brown like, I guess you could say platform. Don't let that platform fool you, okay? Like, what you have to know is that white circle, like the area of the white circle, that's what you have to worry about, which is a real bummer because that just means things make contact quickly. And at this pace, I mean, we're going to make contact with the spores, and we can't tell it to run. We don't have the hornblower, unfortunately. Nor would we... You have to also keep in mind that even if you have the hornblower, you're supposed to develop trust with Onbu. It's just not good. It doesn't look good for us right now. So we're going to have to reprioritize. We're going to... Oh my goodness. All right. I think we have enough stones. Let's just get trees. Are we not prioritizing that? They are prioritized, but they're just not getting done right now. I kind of want to cut trees that are closest to the storage here. So we're just gonna cut this and then do that. We can not do this, but we'll definitely focus on the trees. What I would like to do is move immediately to Village Doctor, but from what I've experienced is that you can't actually save the amount that you've researched. If you jump to Village Doctor, you'll have to do Scavenger Hunt again from zero. Once we have the Scavenger Hunt researched, because in the event that we happen to survive, we're gonna want the Scavenger Hut. Once we have that research, we're going to do our best to get the village doctor. What I want to do is I want to build a herbalist farm. We're going to have to just start this. We're just going to have to start the herbalist farm. I didn't want to have to build this right away. It always feels like a waste of time being cornered into building something that you don't want to build right away, but, you know, it is what it is. We will build... Gosh, where do we want to build this? So from my experience, you want to build your herbalist and your village doctor in the same area, but you want to build the village doctor in the center of your town, in the center of your village, because that's the village doctor is the home point. That's the home point. Also, you want to build your village doctor nearest to where your food is, because, like, as we see from this researcher, the village doctor will walk to wherever the food is located. So eventually we can research. Okay, cool. I think it's 100%. Eventually we can research a food stand, but I've never. Here we go. We're gonna do the village doctor. I've never had that really work for me, if I'm being quite honest. Now, we could queue up the scavenger hut. Not gonna bother right there right now. It's not a big deal. Also, hey, yeah, this is actually a good way to show you an example. So the scavenger hut can only be built in certain areas of Onbu's back. As you can see, it's like at the edges here. So when we're looking at the dung collector, it's going to be the same thing, but only at the bum of Onbu is where you can build a dung collector. Oh boy, it's going to be so bad. Okay, so we're heading straight. That's where Onbu decided to go. I'm pretty sure we're going to make contact here. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm going to pause, and we're going to get the... we're going to decide where to put the herbalist farm. I'm just having issues because of life.
I fucking love my life.
I'm just having a problem because I don't want to build the herbalist farm right away. I don't want to build a village doctor right away, but I'm backed into a corner. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to build it on the edge like this. Yes, that takes away some areas where you can build the herbs, where you can farm your herbs. But if I'm being quite honest, again, like I mentioned earlier, they don't utilize every spot. I suppose, you know what, let's just build it here like this. And then what I will do is I will build the village doctor down here. So we're just going to build a road right now. Just going to do it like this. And then we're going to do this. We're going to build around the Onbu spike. And then go here. And then do here. So if you're wondering too, like what this big, giant trunk is, this can actually be, is a resource that we can harvest, I guess you could say, but we need a sawmill to do so, and a sawmill is the same square size as the trunk, and I think that's built like to the side of it right here. We're gonna build it here in the future, or perhaps down here. Right now we have all this area to be farmed, so yeah, we'll probably build the trunk right here. When you build the sawmill and they cut down the trunk, it'll disappear, and then we'll have this space to work with, and then we won't have like this weird, you know, pathing here. I want to build the research building quickly again. We want to build the herbalist farm. Those are two priorities. God, we want to get the kitchen going too, but we're just not building that fast enough. When we eventually hit the spore cloud, we're gonna have to make sure that we disable our stonecutters, we disable the carpenter. We'll even go so far as to disable the farm and have this set to harvesters, and then max prioritize taking out those poisonous plants. The issue is though, is that if we don't get this up and running, which it looks like we are, and we don't have the herbs or the village doctor, it's just, it's gonna be so much, it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem because we have no way to heal. And yes, just so you know, you can wipe out with poison. It can be a complete game over in that way. So frustrating, because we're only in day 7. One time I got really lucky, and we went to like the desert plains. And I mentioned that in the last episode. The desert plains are actually really cool because there's no poisonous fog, and while water might be hard to come by, like these become like, you know, useless. All you have to do is research like cactus plants and like corn plant, and you can survive. You can survive the desert. You have to worry about scorching hot fields because they can kill Onbu's health or take away Onbu's health, but not worrying about toxic spores just saves you so much time that you can eventually build what you need to build, and then on the research tree, or research what you need to research in the research tree to then heal Onbu. So it's not that big of a deal. Like overall, plants will grow slower, like your herbs, your mushrooms, and all that stuff, but I'm telling you, I suspect that the desert biome will be revisited just because that is kind of exploitable. All right, so we're in the jungle biome as it reads right here. We're in the jungle biome. Oh, it's gone now. But in the jungle biome, your beets grow in the green. So they grow really quickly, which is great. And I believe it means humidity is really good too. Yeah, let's go ahead and prioritize this and cut that down. And then cut this down, I feel. I don't know, we're building roads there. Complete waste of time. Complete time sink. And then we're gonna do that. I'm gonna go priority and reduce priority and not do the roads because we're crazy, but we're not that crazy. Okay, so maybe they don't choose beets over strawberries. They just choose whatever they want to eat, which is, you know, I guess it is what it is. Just food variety. Oh my god, here he goes. Here he goes. It's coming. It's coming. There's no way we're running. Oh, it's gonna be such a bummer. Ooh, poison. Poison's coming at me. Herbalist farm, still not built. Love to see it. Got a bunch of wood here, but the problem is I don't know if they're gonna take the wood and haul it back to here, or they take the wood here and then put it at the herbalist farm. I don't know. Oh, it needs stone. It doesn't need wood. It needs stone. Okay. Well, we got stone here. Onbu. Oh, that sucks. Oh no. So we're not gonna get some of the poison, we're gonna get all of the poison. It looks like Onbu is willing to kill us. See, this is what I mean, okay? This is, oh my gosh. Okay, Onbu is tired, all right? 86% sleepiness. Here's my thing though, okay? The Onbu AI must be really dumb. I don't know. Lore-wise, I guess you could argue Onbu doesn't know of the Spore. You know, I guess you could argue that, but I said this in my early access review, how does Onbu survive for this long? You know, because if Onbu knew a poison cloud was here, Onbu would be fleeing, you know, and I think AI-wise, that would be such a cool turn of events because you'd be like, no, Onbu, don't run, because you'd be running into like something else around here, you would tuck yourself out in a certain area that could be more dangerous. But the fact that Onbu, okay, Onbu is gonna sit in this area while we can clearly see a small spore cloud coming in, it's so infuriating because even if we had researched, okay, even if we had researched the hornblower, you know, there's no telling if we have enough trust to tell it to run. There's just no. The only way to really build trust is to feed Onbu, pet Onbu, and that comes later, dude. That comes like after the Onbu doctor research, that comes after the pet Onbu research. So there's a considerable amount of research and time that needs to take place to build trust with Onbu, which sure enough, okay, whatever. But it's like chilling. Look at Onbu smiling. Do you see that? It's smiling, it's chilling, it's like, oh, I cannot wait. So for those who don't know, when the Spore hits us, and I'm just gonna hit go here because this is pretty much GG at this point. When the Spore comes by, it's going to decimate the Onbu, and then you will have poison buildup, and then Onbu will die a horribly miserable death. Oh my god, we're gonna make contact in like T-1 minute. So we're gonna do our best to play it out. I'm kind of curious to see how much poison will actually decimate Onbu, even if it's a light spore cloud. It's a small spore cloud. Normally, I've had Onbu run through it, and we've, you know, got clipped with it, so we got a little bit of it. We didn't stay in it for very long, but we're gonna get all of it right now. There's just no way of avoiding it. Yeah, so here we go. We're gonna speed up the time. There's nothing that we can do, honestly. Okay, we built the... It's funny. It almost feels futile, so... We're gonna have 3 people work this. We're actually gonna close the... Well, here's what we'll do. We'll have 1 person work it, okay? They're not gonna plant. They're just gonna harvest. But we're gonna have all hands on deck for the herbalist farm. It's not gonna grow quickly enough, but it's just what we're gonna have to try to do. We have 1 person to harvest, so whatever beets we did grow, they will, you know, pluck and use. All right, so now that we've researched the village doctor, we can do the hornblower, but let's take a look at here. Okay, so Onbu doctor. So Onbu's gonna be hit with the spore. He's gonna get ill, but from my experience, Onbu getting like really sick is like, it doesn't happen that often unless you run to a poisonous forest. So we might not want to have to rush that. You might want to rush the Onbu kitchen. We are in the jungle, so Onbu might find food. I don't know. Let's work toward the dung collector right now. That might be a risk. I probably should go here, but I mean, it's too late. It's too late because by the time we research, let's say we want to research hornblower, right, and get Onbu moving, he's gonna hit this. And again, we don't have the trust for Onbu to even consider that. So it's better just to research things that we know that we can make use of right away, which is the dung collector. And then now we're gonna actually build the village doctor, and then we cross our fingers. But we're just gonna have to max prioritize small toxic clouds, so the toxics are coming in. Looks like base resources are actually pretty good. We might be able to build this right away, actually. We can probably set this to builder just so we have one dedicated person building. Oh no, we're actually gonna stop. We're gonna close this down. We're going to, oh, we're making food here. That's good. We will close this down. And the reason I'm doing this, now we're gonna go to harvest mode. We'll leave one for general workers, but now we're going to wait for the fog to develop. So we're gonna actually play this on 1 speed. And we're just gonna watch the area, and we're gonna wait for the poisonous spores because it is so important that we get them. Now, we're gonna be in the poisonous spore for a long time, but I hope this does get addressed. It does feel like we babysit Onbu a lot. You know, and this game is, here we go, here's a little poisonous cloud. This game is meant to be symbiotic, right? Or to show a symbiotic, to express a symbiotic relationship. It doesn't feel that way right now. And one way I think to rectify that is to have Onbu be more sensible when it comes to this stuff and not have you babysit it, but, you know, try to keep your villagers alive, try to get out of this fog. You know, okay, so I'm queuing this all up, and then what I'm gonna do is set this to max priority, and then we're just gonna do that. Wait, did I do that? Okay. So now we're gonna do that. We're gonna max prioritize this. Many of your villagers are poisoned. Yeah, we might get wiped here because the village doctor hasn't gone up yet. Look at that. So we're just getting this. And we're not escaping the fog, by the way. We're gonna get every ounce of this fog. Look at Onbu, man. It's crazy. I just refuse to think an animal of this size, of this magnitude, of this mysterious aura that it wields, that Onbu wields, that it would just be like, oh, you know what? I'll just stay here. Now, you can make the argument that, like, oh, Onbu doesn't see the cloud coming. Well, we do. Isn't Onbu have the same access to the map as we do? Isn't Onbu metagaming? Now, even touching the toxic plant, it's gonna make us sick. Oh, jeez. Do we not have enough here? What's going on, guys? We're gonna go ahead and unlock this. If we can have one person work there, that'd be great. We're gonna free up 2 people, 1 person to work here, and then have 1 idle worker, perhaps? I don't know. 3 people badly poisoned. We have 6 people regularly poisoned, and we have another how many people left over who will doubly, for sure, get poisoned. I'm not sure if... Oh boy. And then you can see here, it's just growing, right? This is how it pollutes. It poisons the berry bush. My main concern if it's polluting our farm. It doesn't look to be that way now. If it poisons the berry farm, that's going to be so sad. By the way, this indication here that you can see it, that means that your villager is sick. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Research. Dung collector. You know, don't even research the dung collector. If you can do any other thing in this world, do it. Because we have planks of wood that is not getting delivered for whatever reason. Let's actually have it be like that. Let's have 3 people do wood. And then, so it looks like stone is fine. So let's actually close this down and not do stone cutting. And then, I know, it's the notifications down here. Oh, it's just reminding me, yeah. A lot of people deathly poisoned, 8%. Perhaps this is telling me how many percentage it needs to kill a villager. It's so funny. First episode, I was like, oh, give me a name down below in the comments. We might not survive this by episode 2. But not to worry. What I will do is, if we lose this, which it very much looks like is going to happen, I will save all those names. We'll have it in the next run, okay? Also, at the rate that these episodes are coming out, I can kind of see that, you know, being the case. So yeah, we might chalk this up as a fat L. But at this point, now having seen the first 2 episodes, you kind of know what to expect out of the Wandering Village and kind of what we're dealing with, and some of its early problems, but also some of its like amazing things, like that we're on the back of a giant, and that our giant is an ever-moving platform that, you know, presents us new and interesting challenges. if I were to reevaluate what I've done so far, I think what I should have done is actually rush the herbalist. So remember how we didn't run into by the way, this is we barely made it to 2 biomes and we got a GG on veteran mode. I think what I should have done is I should have rushed the village doctor, because I should have just been like, we're heading to more fertile lands where poisonous toxic spores could populate. I should have just went village doctor and rushed that, because yeah. But even so, it hurts because, okay, let's just close this maybe. No, let's just do this where we have 3 doctors and then do that. Oh boy, I don't know, there's no one working this farm. There's people working we don't even need food, to be honest. We can just have everybody do their best to work here. We have 5, 1 in stock, 5 here, so 6. Now that we've built this, we can do that, and we can close the amount of people who work at the carpenters to reduce that to 1. We have 8 available, so we can actually just close the carpenters. Close stoneworkers. No one work these, okay? No one work them. What we need is food? No, we don't even really need food. We need researchers. Also, yeah, to get an idea of how poison affects villagers, they'll stand in place. It's the most annoying thing in the world. They'll actually just stand in place, and your doctors have to move over to them to heal them. If we can take out this tree, because I thought more clouds or more spores would develop. Okay, there's no more spores, and thankfully none of the spores grew on what we were doing. Oh my gosh, we might survive. We might survive this. I'm not sure, did anyone die? If no workers die, we might actually pull through. I thought we would need way more herbs. Okay, we're gonna fast forward time here. We might be able to recover from this. So, I would rather have people hungry than sick, because they die faster when sick and they spread that thing, so. Let's see. I think we also got rid of all the poisonous toxic plants. I actually think we're good, guys. Let's see, how much... Wow, we have a lot of wood. We need a lot of stone. And now we can actually switch these guys to general workers. And then let's just queue all this up. I think we might pull through, guys. I may have jumped the gun there. I think we may have just in time. And we may have been able to micromanage our way to recovering from the poison, because... Oh, we're good. Guys, we're in the clear. Yes! Okay, we're good. Oh my god, I was like, oh, we're gonna die. Don't worry, we still might die. If you are struggling on veteran mode and something like this happened to you as well, perhaps... sorry, I'm just kind of curious where we're headed to next. Okay, perhaps that's one way to go about it, folks. Perhaps what you need to do... I mean, it worked. Oh, we have a villager here? That's so stupid. I didn't even realize that. Sorry. Sorry if you saw that and you're like, oh my god, you have one villager just chilling. So perhaps that's something that you can think about, like shutting down whole areas and just being like, focusing on one space at a time. We ended up pulling through. I'm going to have 1 village doctor and 1 herbalist. And the reason for that is because I want the village doctor to move plants, like whatever's left growing here, into the village doctor area, and then we want our at least 1 herb guy growing at all times now, because we have it already built, so that's just what we have to do now. And now we can actually go back to farming. Let's go ahead and do berries. So we're gonna have all three people work there. So we're gonna set that to 1. Let's see, is it filled up already? We're gonna close this workers post just to free people up. Okay, we have that reduced to 1, that reduced to 1. Let's go ahead and go back to having 1 worker per area here. It's going to be relatively slow, but, you know, it is what it is. Our houses are good. We have more houses than we need for people, which is good. This is full, so we can go ahead and start building the water tank. And then now we can start building the scavenger hunt. But I want this built. This has been forever and a half. Why has this been built? What does this need? What does the researcher thing need to be built? This might be bugged. We have the rocks, we have the wood for it. It just, for a researcher building, it just requires 10 of each. So I don't know. That hopefully gets built. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the episode here. It looks like we're just fine. I was losing my cool, but we survived it. What we did was we just sent everybody to work here, everybody to work here. We told our workers to just harvest like crazy, like madmen. And they did. They harvested all that they could. So also keep in mind, now that we know, the small spore cloud, I suppose, has a limit to how much it actually poisons Onbu. I thought it's just if you make, if you're in the cloud for only a little while, that becomes a determiner. Perhaps it still is, but just sitting in that poisonous spore cloud, we survived it. So yeah, we did it. This save is not done. Yeah, we're good. We're good, folks. All right, see you in the next one. Bye-bye.